so to keep inflation down and allow workers to keep up with the rising cost of living, the War Labor Board is meant to set certain wages, right, to enforce certain wage protections for employees. All right, so that as money becomes devalued, people don't suffer economically. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Yeah, it has to do with wage controls, more or less. And the point is, we're trying to increase employee wages so that they can keep up with the cost of living. You know, the gallon of milk continues to go up in price, but if your wages don't, then you become poor, even though you're not taking a pay cut and you still have a job. So we want wages to go up along with the cost of living so that people can maintain their standard of living. All right, so that's the job of the War Labor Board. We also have the Office of Economic Stabilization and the Office of Price Administration. All right, and these organizations, these offices of the executive branch are going to be charged with two things. One, price fixing. All right, they're going to freeze certain prices and rents, right, so that we don't have a problem with people not being able to afford goods or people not being able to afford rent, especially in big cities, these cities that are requiring people that are renting apartments to actually work in factories to use for the war. So the government's dictating what prices can be set. Again, very undemocratic, I guess, anti-free market. All right, and we see again food rationing. All right, these two offices are going to be in charge of the food rationing program. Similar program than what we had in World War I. The difference in World War II is that rationing, Americans are going to receive coupons, rationing coupons. All right, and so remember World War I, it was all about like having people voluntarily not eat meat on Mondays or something like that, right? We talked about that, yes? All right, this time, what happens is you get a coupon, and that coupon will say you're allowed to buy this amount of beef. All right, say like a pound of beef. All right, it's good for a pound of beef. And you have to, if you want to buy meat, you have to present that coupon to the grocer. All right, and so you can't get more than a pound of beef. There might be a lot of beef sitting right there, but you can only get a pound. And that's to make sure that everybody gets some, like in this cartoon right here. You know, let's say you have all the money you want, and you voluntarily don't stop eating meat, and you go to the butcher, and you buy all of the meat on display. Right, and the butcher can't get any more because the rest of it's going to the troops. Well, that means the next person that comes in can't buy any meat whatsoever. All right, and so even though you have the money to pay for as much meat as you want, that's not good enough. You also have a coupon. You have to present a coupon, and then once that coupon's gone, you can't get beef until the next week when you get a new coupon. Does that make sense? So that keeps enough meat in the grocery, in the butchers, in the grocery stores, the supermarkets that are popping up in this country. It keeps enough meat in there for everybody. Does that make sense? Yeah? All right. So we've got our economy mobilized for war. Again, civilians are asked to sacrifice. All right, we mobilize the troops. How are we going to finance this war? We are going to sell bonds like we did in World War I, so we still have a bond sale. However, unlike in World War I, we're going to see a raise in taxes on more Americans. Okay, Wilson raised taxes on high-income folks during World War I, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, this is right around the time the income tax comes out anyways. Income tax has been around a while now. Tax rates are going up. All right, and actually, in 1939, the start of World War II, before we got involved, there were 4 million taxpayers in the United States. That's it, 4 million income taxpayers in the United States. By 1945, the number had risen to 50 million. 50 million in 1945. 50. 4. All right, so the income tax was always originally supposed to be put on people that had income. Right, well now, the income tax is being spread out to even more people that weren't paying income tax at one point in time. That's how the government's going to raise revenue to pay for this war. In addition to Liberty bonds and that sort of stuff. But despite the number of taxes coming in, the new number of taxes coming in, and the sale of Liberty bonds, national debt increased. It explodes during World War II. So I'll give you some more numbers here. In 1941, that's the year we entered the war, our national debt was $49 billion. $49 billion. 49 billion. 1941. By 1945, at the end of the war, our debt had exploded to $259 billion. 259. So this is like 5 times what we had at the beginning of the war. That's a lot. The national debt balloons. Now think about that for a second. What does the national debt mean? It means the government is spending more money than it's collecting. And so this again gives evidence that the massive amount of government spending during World War II helped alleviate the Great Depression. See what I'm saying? And that people, if the New Deal spent somewhere, if they spent as much money as the money we spent to fight the war, then perhaps we would have gotten out of the Great Depression earlier in the 30s. That's the argument. Does that make sense? Okay. And remember, the Keynesian philosophy is always, look, okay, economic hard times, or even in a wartime, go into debt, and then worry about the debts later. And we're going to see that after the war disappears, government spending is going to be reduced to a certain degree, and debts are going to shrink. Alright, so that's financing the war. We talked about scientific research that's done during the war. A lot of that spending, a lot of military spending went into research. Now it's funny that like a lot of the technologies that are up and coming come out of military budgets today. You know, everybody's always thinking about how can we kill people, and that like drive to come up with new weapons that can kill lots of people creates an environment of technological innovation that we benefit from in the civilian world. So I'll give you some examples of scientific research here. First, this is the Federal Office of Scientific Research and Development, that is going to be given lots of money to do scientific research. Out of that office, and out of the need to produce technology to fight and win a war, we get technology like the radar. Comes out of World War II. It's actually a British invention, instead we perfected. Get the radar. Sonar is a little bit earlier than this, but you can throw sonar on there as well. We get, of all things, insecticides. So like pesticides that are going to be used after the war to boost agricultural production. All right, and microwaves come out of this. Microwave ovens that you have in your house. All right, so that's some examples of the technology that's actually being kind of researched, invented, and that will be used in civilian life after the war, but was meant at the time to actually be technologies used to help win the war. Right? I mean, radar is important, you can detect planes coming, sonar is important, you can detect submarines, chemical weapons research is where we get insecticides from, and then microwaves. You know, there's been a talk for years about microwave weapons. You know, we can scramble your brains by shooting microwaves at you. Those guns are out there, but they're not